Hello. Okay, so what you guys are going to be doing is we are making a optical illusion using value, and you guys get to choose what color scheme you want to do. This is one example of it, and then here is another. The only difference between these that make this one look more intense than this one is the background in this, all that negative space. We filled those in with black, where this artist went in and just added more lines. That's one option. You get to choose which one you are going to do. I'll show how you can do both. To set up your paper, you're just going to get that paper that I gave to you guys in class, and you're going to get a Sharpie. For this, you're going to just make dots all over your page. It will look better with the more dots that you add. Have some close together, some far apart. Aim for maybe about 12 dots. Once you have all the dots placed, and again, this is random, you are going to start by making curved lines. You're going to think about this as a connect the dot. And everywhere I have one dot, I'm going to find another dot that I'm going to connect it to. And it could be all different ones. It doesn't have to be the same one. And I'm going to make a curved line from one dot to the other. And I'm thinking I'm making smiley faces and frowny faces. So that is one curve. And I'm just going to continue this all around. And all of my lines that I'm making are curved, just like smiley faces and frowny faces. We want to connect a bunch together. So it's going to look a little funky at first. Bring it all around. You can make some of the curves farther apart, so it'll make it look like it's bigger. Some smaller, and you can always use a dot that has a few connected. It's just going to make your paper look more full. If you completely miss a dot, like let's say I'm aiming for this guy and I make a curve and go, oh no, I totally missed it. That's okay, just pretend that's a dot. Nothing has to be perfectly planned out right away. And what's making this going to look better is I'm making smooth, confident strokes. I'm not making sketchy lines. So once I start drawing, I don't stop until I curve it back in. So I'm just filling up that page. And you don't want anything kind of randomly floating. We want to fill in all of this space. You can turn your paper, curve it all together, connect a few more dots. You don't want to overlap into these spaces that you made. So I have nothing overlapping each other. If something overlaps, we can easily hide that. And I'm just doing this until I fill up my space. So what you might have is a couple random curves on your own, and then all this space alone on the side. To make it look like it's filled up, and we want to show a lot of movement, so there's a lot happening in our final, is we're going to make sure we have no lonely ones. So we're going to connect all of these curves together. And then where we have this outside edge, we want to make it look like there's more happening beyond the scene. So we're just going to start where we originally had a dot, and we're going to put curved lines and just pretend that it's going to curve to a dot that is off the paper. And that's going to make it look like more is happening in this scene. And you can do that kind of in a few random spots, and that's going to really fill up a lot of our paper. And this would just be one step, and we can add to this. So let's say that I have all of this done. What I want to do next is I'm going to add two more curved lines. They're always curving away from each other. We're going to try to avoid overlapping into other shapes. And your main thing is you always want to start at where you had an original dot, and it's going to end at an original dot. So I'm going to add two more curved lines, and I'm curving that all around and going dot to dot. And on all of these, I'm going to add two more curved lines. Again, I'm making confident strokes, and it's already filling up a lot of my negative space. And oops, I kind of filled that in, so I'll just make a thicker line. And once you've done two more, so see I couldn't really go all the way to that dot, so I just kind of stopped it on the edge. Once you've filled up all of these with 2 more lines, if you want to repeat that step again, you can add 2 more lines to this. You can add a few curves where you feel like it's a little bit empty, or we can start filling in the background. But we are just filling in that space.